Hey everybody, I'm Chase Fuller. Welcome to Fuller's Outdoor Country today. I'm going to be introducing you. Today, this is my dad, Gary Fuller. He's been working on this fireplace for several months now, and we're taking you through and breaking it down segment by segment. I hope it's a blessing to each and every one of you that's watching it. It has a lot of history to it. My grandfather, he's been gone now for several years. We used to go out in the curb and we would throw rocks and hit the side of the oak tree, just me and him, and we'd sit and talk for hours. And me and him called it Dinosaur Curve. So when my dad found the T-Rex head, we thought of Dinosaur Curve and just thought about naming it the T-Rex Fireplace. So I hope that you all will continue to watch. My dad is a great builder. He's great at doing things like this. He can teach you a lot of things. He's taught me a lot of things throughout the years, and I'm very appreciative for it. So we appreciate all you guys watching us. Keep tuning in and hope that you're blessed. In Jesus' name.
Well, welcome back, everybody. This is the next day. You seen what we did yesterday. We come down here and got everything set up. The mortar mix set up really good. Everything is locked in. I mean, it is tight. Looks really good. What we're going to try to do, we got this big rock here. We're going to try to put it in this general area right in here. That's the plan. Plans can change though. But you can see we got our mortar mixed up. Good consistency. Not too wet, not too dry. They prefer this too, as the terms is called mud. And if you know what wet mud does, it sticks to everything. So that's what it does to the rocks. Some of your rocks can be a little dry. You want to make sure you get as much dust powder off it because the concrete won't bond to it. But we just wanted to show you how everything's set up last night. We're going to get back into it here in a few minutes. Alright, we got our mortar mixed up. Our plan is to set it right in here. What you do is you set you down a good base. Like I said, try to smooth your mortar out where it's touching all the rocks beside of it. I like to slap it down on there. It seems like it bonds better when you do it that way. I tell you what, this has been one big job for one guy. Sometimes I get myself into jobs that don't think it's going to be that big, but it turns out to be pretty monstrous sometimes. But I enjoy it. I'm not complaining. What I try to do is just fill it in a little heavy. And if the rock doesn't set just right, sometimes you have to pull it out a couple times and readjust. Get her done the way you want her done. What I'm trying to do is push it up here and lock it in on this other one. That is dead on the money. Both directions. You wouldn't think a level would come in handy on laying on leaving rocks, but it does. You try to eyeball it sometimes and you think you got it dead on there and it won't even be close. So what you do, I like to make sure this is pushed underneath, up tight. Pull your masonry up on your rock. Try not to move it, because where it's still wet, it's easily moved. This rock sort of dips down, that'll be all right. Like I said, it's all being done to personal preference. We want it rustic. We want it to look good, but we want it to look rustic all at the same time. Hope everybody's out there enjoying their day. It's an old nasty rainy day here today. So it makes a good day to do this inside. Already sweating. All right, we'll bring you back in a little bit. Hello and welcome back, everybody. We've been laying this fireplace. Got right to the end here the other day where we were going to come back. We run out of mortar mix, so we had to load up, go to Lowe's, and get us some mortar mix, and come back. Got to laying rock, and we forgot the video, so we're way ahead of things. Like this little bit right here, finishing up, leveling this out here to get the hearth part finished, and got our cement mixed up, filling a few of these holes in. But we're going to try to do a lot of stuff today. We're going to be putting what they call a scratch coat on this wall here. And if you've ever heard the term scratch coat, what it means, you take your masonry and you run it up the wall, which gives a bonding unit to your brick, your block. And then you get it rubbed on there really good. And then you take something and scratch it with. You can get a trowel for that. I got a piece of bamboo stick. I use what I have available at the time. And like I said, we do stuff on this channel. You might not have the tools. You might not have, but you can improvise stuff. So we're going to try to get the rest of this filled in. And then we'll start with the scratch coat. Show you what we're talking about there. It's pretty messy. You waste a lot of mortar doing a scratch coat, but it's really needed. This wall's just slick right here. And you put the scratch coat on it and it gives your rock something to bond to. Your mortar and your rock contact bond to. And you'll see what I'm talking about here in a few minutes. So let me get this filled back in. We'll show it to you when we get done. And then we'll start on the scratch coat and show you how it works. And it's going to be a busy day today. So bear with us. All right. We got that filled in. Rough filled in. We'll go over it and clean it up here in a minute. But she's almost complete. Got to go around the edges a little bit, fill in that stuff, but we let it dry just a little bit and we'll come back and clean it up and make it nice and smooth. But we're going to work on another project. This will have to set up before we can start putting the scratch coat on the wall there, but there's how she's looking. You see we got some work we got to do on the sides. You still got to put in some rock and stuff there, but we got the top done, basically. Still lots of work to be done yet, but like I said, we're going to have to let this set up for about an hour. Then we'll come through. What we do is we take a water and brush the concrete smooth, gives it a nice brushed look, clean. But we're going to move over here, try to get this big rock set right here in this corner right here, start up the fireplace. And there's a applied scratch coat right there. You can see what it looks like. This has been on a couple days. What you want to do though, if it's completely dry before you put mortar on it, you want to spray it down just a little bit with some water, get it re-moist again, because dry concrete doesn't have a tendency to stick to wet. and they need to just get it damp a little bit. But we got a gas line to put in here. Like I said, today we got a lot of stuff done. We got this board screwed up here as a buffer, so we know how far to come over. But we got some rock laid on this side already. We started over here trying to get an idea of what it's going to look like before we made our mind up completely. We made a step out here. I think it's going to look really good. But we're going to try to lay some more rock up here. We're going to run a 2x4 across from side to side to try to keep it level. Get us a level put on it. Get it marked off. Try to get this big rock set in place here. And like I said, we're going to put in a black pipe, metal pipe in for our gas supply if we ever want to use it. Going to install it just in case. But I'll show you some things we're going to do to it, because I don't like to put metal directly touching concrete. They has a tendency to corrode, so we're going to spray some stuff on it. We'll show you about that here in a minute. Okay, what I'm going to do now is we're installing the gas line. This is the black metal line. Got everything put in, everything taped, cleaned off. Got some rubber coating, Flex Seal. It's not no promotion. I bought this and stuff, but it seems like anything metal that touches mortar or concrete, the chemical in it has a tendency to make it rust. So I'm just putting this on for some maintenance preventative. And out here where it's actually, this will be behind the rock, and out here will be exposed to the fire and the heat. And I'm going to, really doesn't need it, but I'm going to take some high heat spray paint and spray this down. But here it goes. I've used this stuff on a couple other projects and really liked it. Like I said, it's no promotion. I have no idea who even owns this. What I do is I put one coat on, let it set up a little bit. I do this now because I have a tendency to forget stuff. And this will help seal your pipe also. But there's one coat on it. Like I said, I wanted to do it before I get it. Always turn your can upside down. Spray your nozzle clean. Put your lid back on. Alright, now I'm going to spray it with the spray paint while I'm into it, so it'll be drying at the same time. This is Krylon Specialty High Heat. Up to 600 degrees. It's made for grills, fire pits, and dries in 15 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and give this a shake. These must be childproof because I can't get in. There it is. Alrighty. There's one coat on. I'll let that dry a little bit and I'll come back. I'm doing other stuff right now. I'm still waiting on the mortar to dry where we put on earlier. It still needs to dry a little bit. This has got to be done, so I figured I'd go ahead and at least get it started. We'll get ready. Like I said, if I have a tendency to forget stuff, if I don't do this now, I'm thinking about it, I'll end up putting it in behind the rock and getting it concreted in, and then I'll remember after the fact. But all right, we're back. We got the gas line, propane gas line put in approximately where we want it. We're just doing a test run right now, but it's pretty level. We'll have a gas pipe go right up the edge of the wall right there. Following it up, you can see the copper line right here. Just getting everything put in, getting it spot checked, see if that's where we wanted it. Got it all level. A little higher than I wanted it to be. Might see if we can get it down just a little bit more than that, though. I don't like it that high. And got us some rocks brought in. Put a few rocks in while we're waiting. Let them be setting up. Got a little green mold on them, which actually I like, but when we scrub it and clean it, it probably won't stay on there, but I like the contrast of it. But I believe it'll come off when we get it up good scrubbing. You can just lay a few rocks at a time, then you got to wait a couple hours and go do something else. Give them time to set up, and then you come in and lay a few more. It's a long process. But, like I said, we're going to try to get this gas line set in here. Get this rock started right here, this big rock. Started right there on the corner, like we did that one over there. And we're going to work with it a little bit. You know, we're used to letting y'all see all this stuff, but we're trying to just keep you posted as we go, and we'll bring you back in a little bit. Well, we went ahead and got this rock set. That way, when we start back Monday, this will be ready to go. Here's what it's going to look like. The thing is heavy. We just got this rock sitting up in there as a brace to keep it from moving, because as heavy as that thing is, the wet mortar won't hold it. And we're just trying to keep it from moving. She's coming together. Welcome back, everybody. As you can see, we did a little work. Last time you left, we was just setting this rock, waiting for it to set up. We got a few of these laid yesterday. The only thing bad about it is we forgot to film what we were doing. But we got us a makeshift brace here to help hold the rocks while they're setting. We got a metal bar back here in the back. To lock everything in. As you can see, we run a couple pieces through, locked into this one up here in the wall. I've tied other metal in as I go. Like I said, I like to overbuild everything, and it is sticking out a little bit farther than our brick mantle here than we expected to, but we'd be all right. Like I said, we have tied it in, worked everything in, and gonna try to get the gas line fixed there today. You can see it back in there. We're getting it hooked in so we can get this rest of this right here laid up today. But I like this little big rock here. I like the coloration in it. We're trying to blend them in together. starting out with some lighter ones on the bottom, and as we go up, you know, sort of trying to match it with the other side. So we just want to give you an update. We're going to try to install, like I said, this gas turn-on valve here. We had to buy an extension. It was too short for the system that we done, and had to run to Lowe's and rig up a system, but we think it'll work, and we're going to try to install that here in a few minutes, but just wanted to give you an update. All right, explain and tell you what we're doing. This is a fireplace, fire pit, turn-off system. Takes a key system. It goes, I got it taped up right now, but there's a hole here, a key fits in, and you put it in here. It's sort of like a hideaway. Goes in here like this. Turn your gas valve on inside there, and it hides your gas. We're going to try to get that installed, but the system that it come with was just, let me just show you how this works. Just designed with this right here, and this is designed to go through a floor, which, you know, like 3 inches or so. Goes through your floor and mounted, but you can also use it to extend here. So what we did, we went up and bought us a brass, 4-inch brass pipe fittings, and this works perfectly on it here. Screws right on, go right there. You can cut your gas on and off. That way kids can't get in there. Someone can't turn it on accidentally. You have to have the key to do it. So, but we want to explain to you what we're going to do. Going to put this in here. I'm going to, concrete doesn't really, masonry work doesn't really hurt brass, but I'm going to spray it with the flex coat anyways, put a rubber coating on it. 2 seconds of preventive means a lifetime of no maintenance, and I'd rather take a few minutes and do that is to worry about anything else. And like I said, we're going to get this installed, and we'll show it to you here in a few minutes. We have to fill this cavity up here, so we'll get this installed, see how it's going to sit in there. All right, we're getting ready to belay the star of the show here, Mr. T-Rex. What I'm going to do first is I get me a little spray bottle. A garden sprayer works better, but you got to do with what you got. Anyway, you wet your stretch coat down, you get the idea behind where you're going to do, because where your concrete is dry, it'll suck all the moisture out of your mortar mix, which in turn makes your mortar sit up too fast and doesn't give it time to bond. So the best thing to do is I like to wet the wall down, let it sit there a few minutes, get soaked in good, start putting my mortar mix down, or mud, whatever you want to call it, and prepare it. And I like to wet the rock down also on the side it's going to be touching. Not very much, just wipe the dust off, gives it something to bond to. But I just wanted to show you and explain why we wet this down. I'll wet it down here in a minute when I get my sprayer working. But like I said, I like to wet all that down behind where I'm going to be laying rock at the time. I put some rebar in the wall, 1/2-inch rebar, drilled it in this way. That rock's really heavy, and I want to make sure that we got it locked in there tight, and it helps tie this whole wall in too. Keeps from any movement or anything. But we'll get this wetted down. I'll get the rock cleaned up, Mr. T-Rex that is. Get the mortar put on the wall behind it. After you get it wet down, I'll take some wet mortar, put it up behind it, and once you put the two together, put it on the rock and put it together, it makes like suction and it pulls each other together, and which locks your rock in real tight. So I'll get this wet down, and I'll bring you back in just a second, and then I'll explain to you, show you what we do on the back of the Mr. T-Rex here. All right. what I was trying to tell you earlier, just take you a sponge and go over your rock and just wipe the dust off. Doesn't look like much dust, but it'll keep it from bonding, your mortar from bonding. It don't take me just a second to go over it, wet it down, clean your rock off really good. And I like to, after I do that, I like to let it set a minute before I put my mortar on it. It just gives that water time to get down in the rock a little bit. But while that's doing that, I'll move up here and put a little base on here while we're getting ready. All right. I like to slap it against the wall, push it up against my scratch coat, work it in. You don't want to put it straight on dry mortar. You can see how good it's sticking now. It bonds to each other a little bit better when it's wet. Get some more, put on here. All right. Like I said, I like to slap it down. Well, that one fell off, but push it down where and make a good bed where your rock's going to be sitting. Mortar bonds better with pressure. I learned that a few years ago. A little pressure put on it will make it bond better. And as you see how I'm doing, I'm just working it in. Getting this back up the wall again. Making sure I got it put in good around this rebar. Like I said, I'm overkill on support, but if it's worth doing, it's worth doing it right. It costs us a little bit more to do it sometimes, but a few dollars that it costs us down the road, what it saves, and having it fixed later on, having it fixed right. But that's it. I'm going to put some on the back of the rock. Smack it on there good. This is why in the industry they call it buttering. When you're putting butter on the toast, you want to make sure it's all covered. Same way with your mortar. That way that everything is touching has a spot to bond. Put it on the bottom right here real good. Take your hand, keep it from falling off. If you're afraid to get your hands dirty, this ain't the job for you. Alright, I wanted to show you, like I said, this is called buttering. There's going to be someone tell me, oh, you should have done it this way or that way. I do it my way. It works. It bonds. When I lay tile, I do the same thing. I put mortar on every tile that I do, plus the floor. Never had a problem with tile coming up. So it's little tricks that I've learned. Somebody might know it a little bit better. But I just wanted to show you what the term buttering meant. Just making good contact with your mortar is basically what it is. This side it's going to be touching. It's all covered now. And that way when you put it up there, it bonds the rest of it that you got up. So I wanted to explain buttering to you if you've never done it before. That way if you hear the term, you know what someone's talking about. But as you can see now, this is sticking to the rock. If you hadn't wiped that off, that little coat of dust that was on this rock, it actually sits on top of that coat of dust and will fall off. You're saying, well, mortar, concrete, that should stick to everything. No, just a little skim of dust on top of your rock will actually make it slide off. So, all right, I wanted to show you that, what was called buttering. Let it sit here a few more minutes, put some more mortar up here, and I'll set the rock in place. T-Rex is about to get his home. Okay, we're gonna try to get Mr. T-Rex set up on here. Holy moly, he's heavy. That ain't exactly where it's gonna go, but that'll give you an idea what it's gonna look like. I gotta get him pretty well centered, but that's Mr. T-Rex. We're going to work on him a little bit, maybe put some flatter rocks around him to outline him. I don't know what we're going to do yet. I'm going to sit back here and look at it a little bit more, but I'm running out of room in my camera, so I'm going to have to do some downloading, but I got a little space made. I want to get this filmed, us putting it up. Still got some work, got to get it leveled out and everything, but that's the star of the whole fireplace. We're calling this the T-Rex. Found him here on our farm, and really, I really think it's going to be pretty when I get it done. But all right, here he is after we got him set. Mr. T-Rex. My little grandkids will love this when they get a little bit bigger. My little twin boys. If I did this for them to have something to talk about. He's going to be a good conversation piece, I believe, but he'll stand out more when we get some more rocks laid around him. He's getting set up right now, though. Just wanted to show you that we got him up there, but it's going to take a while for him to dry. Getting this side laid up here, don't catch up with the other. Old T-Rex, he's really starting to stand out now. Getting the other rocks laid around him where he'll stand out, pop out better. But just wanted to keep you updated as we're working. Been a little slow today. It's cool, and the mortar's setting up slow, so, but it's better to do it, let it set up slow than it is to let it dry fast. But there's what she's looking like. Got the opening done. Okay, what we're doing here is putting some extra bracing in. We drilled some 1/2-inch holes in our brick and installed 1/2-inch rebar, about 6-8 inches long. Just giving it more support. I know I don't need to do it, but I just like to tie everything in really well. But like I said, it don't take just a few extra minutes to ensure what you got, beef it up a little bit. It can save you stuff down the road, but we're just add more stuff as we go. We're going to work on this across here today and hopefully tie this up. We're going to go to the top of them rocks right there. Haven't made up our mind if we're going to use a wood beam or rock slabs at this point, but we'll see you in a little bit.
Hey everybody, that's the end for today. I hope you enjoyed the T-Rex Fireplace Build. We still got a little bit more work to do. If you would, go down there at that bottom, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell to let you know when the next episode's coming up, and you don't want to miss it because Dad's going to get in trouble with Mom. God bless you guys.